Hi, welcome to our gradebook monitoring video. So as an administrator, you will need to monitor your teacher's gradebooks. In this video, I'm going to take you through the steps that you'll need to do in order to look at gradebook statistics. I think you'll find there's a lot of useful information that can be gathered through Skyward's gradebook monitoring tools, and I'll take you through each of those steps to get there. So let's go ahead and let's get started. We are going to go through a couple of basic steps here. The first thing we need to do is set up our gradebook monitoring. The way that Skyward does monitoring is it gathers statistics on an on-demand basis. That means that in order for you to get the latest information, you need to run a utility to update those statistics. I will show you how you can update individual statistics on the fly, but in general, we update in mass. All right, so to do the setup, we'll go to the hamburger and go to Gradebook. And then we'll go to Update Monitoring Totals. This is different in that this is in the Utilities menu. We'll select either Course or Teacher. We'll click on Next. We'll review our request, and then we'll run it and close it, and then we're done. Remember that the statistics that you see will only be as of that last run date. It'll make more sense as we go through it. So let's go ahead and let's jump in. All right, so here I am. I already logged in. I'm going to go to Gradebook. Then I'm coming over here to Update Monitoring Totals. I can either pick a course or a teacher. If I wanted to, I could pick a course like, let's say, E1010. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's make it Language Arts E1011. So I want to update statistics for everybody who teaches Language Arts E1011. Click on Next. It basically will identify whose gradebooks this will update the statistics for. I click on Run Process. And that's it. It has now updated that statistics. I'll click on Close. And if I wanted to run this for another course, say mathematics or science, if I wanted to monitor like all my core subjects, I could do that. But unfortunately, you do have to run it one at a time for each individual course type. You could also run it for individual teachers. It would be nice if it would allow us to pick more than one, but at this time, it only does one at a time. All right. So now we've done our setup. So now, how do we actually review our information? There's actually a couple of ways to do this. I'm going to show you how you do some monitoring and reviewing by course, and then I'll show you how you do that by individual. All right, so we got our steps here. Hamburger to Gradebook, to monitor by class in the Features menu, and then we'll review our information. I'll show you how you can update information on the fly, and then how you can actually drill down into the gradebook by clicking on the row selector. All right, let's jump into this. Okay, I'm back here at the dashboard. So I'm going to click on the hamburger. I go to Gradebook, and I go to Monitor by Class. So if you'll notice here, I have a bunch of statistics that I can look over as it relates to gradebook classes. You can see I have a course code here, and I'm sorting first by last scored gradebook time. So this column will show me when was the last time that they put a score in their gradebook. Now that's different from the last time they accessed the gradebook. So keep that in mind. So I've sorted by last time they scored in the gradebook, and then I sorted by the course code. Now I could easily go over here and click on course code and say I want to sort by my course codes. And then I could say, all right, last accessed will be my next sort. So this way I can say, okay, look, here's all my E1011s, all my language arts, and let me see who, when was the last time somebody got in and put in a score in their gradebook. So there's a lot of good useful information here. I do have the staff email available right here, so if I see something noteworthy, I can just click here and send off an email message. If I scroll over, notice then I have a bunch of statistics over on this side. I have how many assignments have they done year to date, how many active students are there, what's the assignment counts, how many future assignments do they have entered into their gradebook, how many scores have been graded, how many are non-graded. You have a lot of good information. And when you click on one of these, it's a drill down and it will bring up whatever it is that you clicked on. So let's say we have assignment count year to date. So I'm curious about this individual. They have 4 assignments year to date. If I click on it, up pops up those 4 assignments. So it's really handy for drilling down and seeing specific information as it relates to individual courses and people's grade books. Now, if I wanted to, let's say I was interested in this particular teacher's grade book for this particular course, I can also click on the arrow right here and I will drill down into their grade book. So now I'm looking at their grade book. This is, by the way, I think this is read-only mode. I can click on the chevron and see the actual individual assignments and grades. This information is read-only, like I said. Also, this screen opened up on its own tab. I don't know if you noticed, but another tab opened up. So I can just go back here to this tab and I'm right back on this screen where I can now open up another grade book if I wanted to. Let me go ahead and close out that other grade book. Also, right here on this triangle, if I click on it, I can update totals. So this is how I can update the statistical information that I just showed you on the fly. I don't have to go back to the utility and run them in mass. If I just want to update a single one, I can click here and update it. So that's handy. So you might want to run your statistics on a number of courses, come and review your information, and then you'll say, well, you know what, maybe I need to keep an eye on this particular course for this particular teacher, and then you might come back in maybe in a couple of days and want to see what changes have been made. You can click on the triangle, update your information, and see what has changed on that gradebook. Really a very handy feature. So this is how you review gradebook information, monitoring gradebooks by course. So let's go ahead and look at this again, but now we review by staff. So in this method, what we will do is we will go into the system and we will pick a staff member and then look at their gradebook and look at their the information, the statistics. Now remember, the statistics here are generated from that utility. So if you don't update from the utility, then these numbers won't be updated. You have to update them manually, either on the fly, individually, like I just showed you, or in mass through that utility. All right, so we're going to go to the hamburger. We're going to click on staff, then go to the staff list in the features panel. We'll open up another panel by clicking on the chevron on the upper right. Then we're going to click Gradebook from the left-hand side menu within the panel. We'll review our class information. We're going to see, when they last accessed the gradebook, when they last scored the gradebook. We also have a column in there that says when was the last time we updated the statistics for this gradebook. And I'll show you how you can drill down to actually see the gradebook, just like we did in the other demo. Okay, remember, once again, the stats are as of the last update. They don't update automatically, they don't update daily. You gotta go ahead and run the utility or select update individually, items individually from that upside down triangle. And remember to look at that last updated time so you can see when was the last time that you updated those statistics. All right, let's jump in. All right, here I am at the dashboard. I'm going to click on the hamburger. I'm now going to go down here to staff and go to staff list. I'm going to jump all the way over here and I'm going to click on the chevron. Now I get this panel and my gradebook was already selected, so I'm already looking at the gradebook for any individual that I click on this side. So I can select a teacher, click on their name from this side, and over here my gradebook updates. I can see their individual classes. If I scroll over, I have my statistical information in this little window here. So you can see I do have, actually for this particular teacher, I don't have anything because I didn't update. My utility did not catch this teacher. So this teacher might be maybe a grade level that I didn't hit with the courses that I ran the utility for earlier. But no matter, I can easily just click right here on the triangle and say update the information for just this subject, just this class for this teacher. Now if I scroll over, you can see I do have information. When was the last score entered, how many assignments, how many graded assignments, etc., etc. If you have a wider monitor, then you'll get to see more. Also, I've opened this up in a panel. I don't have to do that. I can open this up as the profile to fill the whole screen so I can see more information at one time. I'll show you that in just a second. It's just that this setup is really handy when you want to be able to click on an individual and then see their gradebook right here. Nice and easy. So let me show you how to see that same information, but looking at it through a profile view. So here's my list that I had right now, and I just put that panel away by clicking on those chevrons. If I wanted to, at this point, I could click on a teacher right here on the selector, and that will do the full screen profile, and so I can see more information, more gradebook information at one time in this manner. And once again, if I'm interested in one particular class, I can click on the little triangle, click on Update Totals. It will update that statistics for me. And when I scroll over, I can see updated numbers. Do notice, this is important here, last updated time. This tells me when was the last time the statistics were updated for this class, for this period or course, for this teacher's gradebook. Pretty neat. Also, another handy thing is this. Notice these little arrows here and this little search box up here. If I wanted to move on to another teacher, I could just key in their name, and then I could then select them and then look at their gradebook, keep the profile open. Or if I wanted to move through teachers sequentially or staff sequentially, I can use the right arrow or left arrow to go from one person to the next and to the next. And this way, I can just go from instructor gradebook to instructor gradebook and be able to look up information. All right. So, as you can see, the gradebook monitoring by staff is fairly easy to do. I think each one of these methods has their own pros and cons. If you want to look at all your courses at once and just do a quick cursory scan by course, I think that's really handy because you can just do a number of courses, run the utility for a number of courses, and then jump into the review by course, sort it by the last time the gradebook has had a grade entered, and then you can quickly see who has not put a grade in their gradebook in a while. Unlike GradeSpeed, I believe this one will keep that date accurate as in terms of putting in a grade in the gradebook. Now, it doesn't tell you how many grades were put in. It will only tell you the last time a grade was put in. So putting in a single grade would probably update that date. Okay, but remember, you do have a column there that shows how many grades are still open and how many grades have been entered. So, I mean, there is additional statistics on there. Well, that's it for gradebook monitoring. I hope you find the video useful, and I hope you will download the PowerPoint and make use of those step-by-step instructions so you can start monitoring your gradebooks. Thank you very much for your time, and watch some more videos.